Guys, please confirm that all of you people voice is normal. Guys, please confirm all of you voice is normal. Guys, please confirm to all of you people voice is normal. So voice is clear to all of you guys. Get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, now check it. Now check it, guys. All of you get my voice on screen. Is my voice is clear to all of you? Please confirm to me, guys. No, thank you. Switch on the speaker. Last switch on the speaker. Please, please. Thank you. All right. Good morning, guys. Right, sir. And the last class just have taken the brief introduction about Java programming language and what we are providing, what we are able to provide in Java programming language. That what we understood. And what about our plan to learn a Java programming language through Durgasoft? This information here we provided clearly. Okay. Then here the next thing is what today I want to discuss about. Today I would like to discuss about Java. I will give introduction to the Java programming language, especially core Java. Core Java programming language we are going to understand. How core Java is available, what exactly the content I am going to discuss about core Java and all the things we are going to understand in today's session. Then after that, today officially I will start the core Java content. Okay. All right, guys. Now let's observe this clearly. All of you observe this clearly. If we come for this core Java, before that I would like to ask some few questions already given that. Java is available in how many parts now? 3 parts. Java is existed in 3 parts. What are the 3 parts of Java? J2SE, J2EE and J2ME. J2SE, J2EE and what next one there? J2ME. They are the 3 parts which are existed there clearly. Next one is, now here we are going to start with what there? J2SE. J2SE we are going to start. Today onwards we are talking about like what no? J2SE. But before going to start our content, those who want to go for basic Java package, complete Java package and full stack Java, if any of you wants to go for these packages, no, already roadmap is very clear for the offline students. Then what is the roadmap here? Now 7 to 8:30 I'm starting these classes now today. Maybe after a few days of time I will take your classes at 8:30 as I given information already. So after a few days of time, maybe after 1 week of time maximum, 1 week to 10 days of time, I will take your classes at 8:30 to 10. Why? Because I have to saturate this slot for advanced Java in the future. Okay. Then after that, 10 o'clock Oracle is going to be start. And which date onwards? I think so 17th onwards. Next 21st or 22nd, UI technologies will be start at what time there? At 11:30. Okay, the schedule is available. Again, I will talk. When the batches are coming, I'll give that notifications to you. Don't worry. As per that, you can attend for these classes. But 2 slots are very much fixed for the package people. 8:30 to 10 core Java total batch. 7 to 8:30 in the future. I will take like what there? Advanced Java. Right. The total Java stream, the total Java content I'm going to discuss in these 2 timings clearly. You can observe this clearly. Right, sir. Anyway, leave this part here. Again, I will give notifications to you when I'm going to start the content. Now here, J2SE In the sense, you know already Java 2 standard edition. In our terminology, if you want to understand J2EE, J2SE, what is this J2SE? Actually, the J2SE is nothing but core Java only, not any other one. But the name is not like core Java. Actual name is J2SE only. But in our language, if you want to understand, J2SE is what? Is a core Java only. Observe guys, what I'm telling you now. In a core Java, what exactly the content we are going to understand, at least list of the topics, major list of the topics I want to give there. Now try to recognize this. First one is very good introduction part we are going to understand. Why we need to come for Java, what is the intention to introduce Java programming language to outside, then all the introductory part I will complete. Today I will start this introduction part anyway. And the second one is like what? After that, steps to prepare first application, first Java application. Steps to prepare first Java application. This is second topic. How to install Java software. Then how to install Java editor or maybe IDE, Eclipse IDE. After that, after understanding that, how to installations, how to provide some setups for Java, how to write Java program, how to save Java file, how to compile Java program, and how to execute Java program. All these things we are going to be covered under these steps to prepare first Java application. Right, so then after that, third one, here what I am understanding there, third one is like what there. After this, language fundamentals. Inside this language fundamentals, you are going to understand like all the basics of the programming in the sense like what is a variable, what is an identifier, what are the various tokens which are available in Java. Apart from this, like what next one here after that, how to prepare if conditions, how to use that if else if ladder, then after that for loop, while loop, do while loop, like all these things, all the content we are going to understand under this language fundamentals clearly. Then after that, after understanding the basics now I will go for some patterns. So this is somewhat logical programming I will cover here. Some patterns I will use. Then what are these patterns actually? How to display stars in like what I'm telling there, square shape. How to display stars in rectangle shape. How to display stars in like a pyramid shape. How to display stars in like different shapes, arrow shape. So logical, somewhat logical programming we are going to be covered inside these patterns clearly. There I will to show how to display all the different shapes in outside here with stars now. Why? Because nowadays might be some interviewers are asking this type of questions. Write a program, write a Java program to display pyramid shape. Write a Java program to prepare triangle. Like this type of questions that interviewers are asking nowadays. That's why I will cover these patterns in this particular content clearly. Right, guys. Then after that, after completion of this, and the next one is like what there. After that, we are going to start like what now? Oops, the very important topic in core Java. Very weighted. Most important topic in entire core Java is what? Oops, object orientation. That I will start there. Inside this object orientation, more and more, the topics we are going to understand. More number of concepts I will cover there in object orientation. What are the more number of content here we are covering there? How to prepare classes, how to prepare abstract classes, and how to prepare interfaces. Then what is like object, how object is created internally. Then after that, what is the meaning of encapsulation? Then after that, static keyword, final keyword. Then after that, this keyword, super keyword. Next one is inheritance, single inheritance. How we are able to implement it? Why multiple inheritance is not existed here? So and so on. Polymorphism, method overloading, method overriding, super keyword, constructors, like so on. So many topics here we are going to understand clearly. So many topics, more and more number of topics here we are going to be understand clearly. Right, sir? Just guys, give a minute of time. Richa, Richa, are you there? Richa G. So this is core Java class, and this is not Spring Boot microservices class. So please contact our admin. They will help you to join for the respective classes. This is only core Java, not any other content. This is core Java session. Okay, Richaji, then please contact with the admin and they will give more clarity. Guys, once again, please confirm to me, is my voice is clear to all of you? Guys, please confirm to me, all of you, is my voice is clear to all of you guys? Clear. Yeah, nice. All right, sir. Then what next one here? Object orientation is the most important topic. Object orientation is the most important topic that we can understand. So definitely we are going to understand this content with very much clarity, with very much clear. Next one is after that, after this object orientation, we are going to start with the packages. Package in the sense, you know already, package is the collection of classes and interfaces in Java, not more than that. Okay, what are the various predefined packages are available in Java? What is the purpose of each and every predefined package? Then after that, how to declare user-defined packages, how to declare user-defined packages, how to access the content from user-defined packages. So all packages content here we are able to get clearly. So there we are going to see very good content about these packages here now. Almost all, nearly 8 to 10 hours of time we are going to spend on these packages clearly. Right, sir. Then after that, after completion of these packages, no, next one we are going to understand like what their wrapper classes. Wrapper classes is a might be at this time you may not understand these wrapper classes, but this also be one of the topic here we have to understand wrapper classes. Right, sir. For every primitive data type, there is a class type. For example, int is available. That is a primitive data type. To represent this int in the form of object, here we require a separate class type, that is integer. Long is a primitive data type. For that there is a class type. The class is what now? Again, long is a class. So this is classes representation of these primitive data types. Classes representation of primitive data types are nothing but what they know, wrapper classes there. We are going to understand with very much clearly about this content here. Next one is after that, inner classes. The next topic is what there? Inner classes. Observe carefully, guys. Inner classes I'm going to talk. We know already in a programming part, we are able to write a loop inside another loop. Am I right or not? We are able to write a loop inside another loop. That is called as inner loop or nested loop. Am I right or not? Similarly, in Java, we are able to declare a class inside another class. We are able to write a class inside another class. That internal class, whatever the class we have written inside the class, that internal class is called as what there? Inner class. That internal class is called as what now? Inner class. Please recognize this point clearly. We are able to write a class inside another class, then that is called as what now? Inner class. 4 types of inner classes are available. Not even single inner class. 4 types of inner classes are existed. What are the 4 types of inner classes there? Member inner class, and next one is like what there? Anonymous inner class, static inner class, method local inner class. Member inner class, static inner class, method local inner class, anonymous inner classes now. So these many topics are existed clearly. We can understand it now. Next, before that, then after that, after completion of these inner classes, their study, the total inner classes information, we are going to understand part of these inner classes clearly. Then after that, after completion of these inner classes, next one is like what they? String manipulations. That means string operations. In Java, we know everywhere we are going to use strings. Everywhere we are able to use strings. Say for example, I'm asking to you clearly. Observe carefully. For example, I want to represent employee name in a Java program. Employee name. Name should be the collection of characters or not? In general, our names should be in the form of collection of characters or not? To represent this collection of characters, which data type we have to take now? Is it possible to represent collection of characters by using integer? Is it possible to use integer for representing collection of characters? Is it possible to use a float data type for collection of characters? No. To represent collection of characters, we have a data type. The data type is what now? String data type. Okay. After representing collection of characters in the form of string, There we have to perform some operations. Which operations we have to perform there? There we can understand a concatenation. Durga soft is available. Durga is available as a one string. Soft is available in another string. So I need to make it is Durga soft. If you want to make it is Durga soft, then I have to perform concatenation operation. I want to find the length of the string. Durga soft. I want to find the length of the string. Okay, fine. Before the string, some spaces are available. After the string, also some spaces are available. I want to remove these spaces now. Trim operation I have to use. I want to convert all lowercase letters to uppercase letters. I want to convert from all uppercase letters to lowercase letters. All these operations are going on with the strings or not. All these operations we have to perform in our Java applications. So to cover all this stuff, we have to go for like what now? String manipulations. That another topic is like what there? String manipulations. Observe carefully. After that, after understanding these string manipulations, the next content here, what we are able to observe carefully. The next topic is like what there? Exception handling. Exception handling. Exception handling. Understand it clearly. The next topic is like what there? Exception handling. Here, what we are able to understand inside this exception handling, what is an exception, how to handle these exceptions, how to use throws keyword in Java applications, and how to use a throw keyword in Java applications, how to use try catch finally, what are these predefined exceptions, what are these user defined exceptions, how to declare user defined exceptions, how to use that user defined exceptions in our Java applications. And then after that, after completion of this, what are the various types of these predefined exceptions, what are these checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions, the total information we are going to understand, part of like what they know, exception handling. This also be one of the important topic that we have to understand. Anyway, at the end of the content, at the end of the course content, I will give which topics we have to put more focus in entire core Java. That I will give the total list of the topics which are very, very important in core Java. For time being, let me complete all the list of the topics here. Exception handling here we need to understand, that is the most important one. Then apart from this exception handling, the next topic would be like what there? Multi-threading. The next topic is like what there? Multi-threading. Multi-threading. You know, writing a Java program in the sense, writing a Java programs in the sense, we need to write 100 lines of code. Am I right or not? Some lines of code we have to write. Am I right or not? So, for example, I have written a program where 100 lines of code is available. Okay, that 100 lines of code I have to execute or not? I need to execute the 100 lines of code. Then only I can get my required results. To execute these 100 lines of code, one flow of execution is required. To execute this Java program, we need a flow of execution. That flow of execution is nothing but a thread. That flow of execution is nothing but a thread. Okay, fine. How to create a thread? How to execute the threads in Java applications? How to control the threads? And how to create more than one thread at a time? And how to execute more than one thread at a time? How to perform parallel execution? And how to provide synchronization between the threads, how to establish communication between the threads, that everything, the total surrounding information we are going to understand in a multi-threading. This multi-threading is also be one of the important topic in entire core Java. As of now, 3 to 4 topics, important topics I specified to you clearly. The very first one is like what there, object orientation. Oops, the most important topic in entire core Java. After that, next one is like what the string manipulations. Next, exception handling. Next, multi-threading. These 4 topics are damn sure topics in every interview in the point of application development. So definitely everybody has to understand these concepts clearly. This is one point. Next one is after completion of this multi-threading, we are going to understand IO streams. IO streams, input and output streams. Right? What is the purpose of this input and output streams now? To perform input operations and output operations. What is the meaning of this input operation, guys? Observe carefully. What is the meaning of input operation? I want to get data from outside to Java program. Data is available outside of the Java program, maybe in the same computer in a separate file, or maybe in the network, or whatever it may be. Data is available outside of the Java program. I want to read the data to my Java program. to read data from outside to Java program where we need to perform input operation. The data direction is what? Towards to Java. That means inside to Java program. So input operation. Otherwise, I have data in my Java program. Data is available in my Java program. I want to send this data to outside of the Java program. I want to send data to outside of the Java program. To send data to outside of the Java program, there we will go for like what they know output operation. So to perform input operation and to perform output operation, we need some predefined things. That predefined things are covered inside like what they know IO streams. So IO streams topic is required to understand this IO operations clearly. Got my point or not? So IO operations, IO streams is one of the important topic. Not much important here, but some topics are very, very important. Inside these IO streams, how to perform input operations, how to perform output operations, how to use byte-oriented streams, how to use character-oriented streams, and how to use like what there serialization topic, the most important topic in entire core Java serialization, how to perform externalization. All the content will be covered inside this what there no IO streams that we have to understand clearly. Next one, after completion of these IO streams, another topic will be, another content will be like what there arrays. Another topic will be like what there arrays. See, observe this clearly. Arrays is a fundamental topic actually. I need to cover this in language fundamentals, but arrays situation is somewhat different in Java. Arrays topic is a somewhat different in Java. Everybody understand my point here. Arrays topic is somewhat different, not difficult, somewhat different in Java. If you go for C programming language, if you go for C programming language, if I ask you what is an array, you will give the definition like what? Array is a linear data structure or some data structure which allows the data in a continuous mode with a side-by-side address locations. Some definition we can give. But if you ask the same definition in the case of Java, what is the definition here we used to say? Array is an object in Java. Array is not any other one. Array is what? No, an object in Java. It allows the similar data elements. It able to allow more than one element of the same data type. It allows the more than one element of the same data type. Array is an object. It allows the data of the same type, not a different types. Homogeneous elements. Strictly speaking, homogeneous elements in the sense 10 only integer values I want to allow, or 10 only string values I want to allow. So only one type of data in more than one value if you want to allow, there we have to go for like what now arrays topic. So array is a somewhat related with object in the case of Java. It is not like normal data type in the case of Java. So because of that reason, here only I need to cover this arrays topic there. When I complete this arrays topic here, after that immediately I have to discuss about like what there collection framework. Immediately I have to discuss about like what their collection framework. In other words, what I'm telling there, collection framework is an extension of arrays topic. Collection framework is an extension of what arrays topic. Please remember this point here. So if you want to come for this collection framework, first we need to understand arrays. After that only we have to come for like what no collection framework. Right, sir? Little bit relationship is existed here. Why? Because I can say collection is an object in Java. Collection is an object in Java. It able to represent a group of elements as a single unit. Collection is an object in Java. It able to represent a group of elements as a single. Say for example, 100 employees I want to represent as a single. All employees I have to be represented as a single or not. That's my requirement. If you go for any software or any application there for any organization, there we have to represent a set of employees. There I have to represent a set of like what accounts I want to represent, a set of products I want to represent, a list of like customers I want to represent. So all these more than one element I have to represent as a single. So there we have to go for like what no collections and collection framework. Exactly. Now right now you want to know? Hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm telling there. Right now, you want to know the difference clearly? Yeah, exactly. For you, if you want to know that, only one difference I can give now, but because all members may not understand clearly that point. Yeah, only one point. Arrays are in a fixed size in manner. Arrays, for example, if I declare array with 10 elements, it unable to allow 11th element. Only it able to store only 10 elements. Max. It will not allow 11th element. But when we go for collections now, it is not the case. Dynamically growable in nature. Dynamically growable in nature in the sense what there directly we are able to, for example, at the time of declaration of this collection framework, I can give the size is 10, the capacity is 10. But unfortunately, if I want to allow 11th element, then it allows. Yeah, at the same time might be 15th element or 20 elements might be dynamically able to increase its capacity, able to allow extra elements also. That flexibility here we are getting. That is one point there. Then another thing is what? Predefined support, predefined library is very, very less for the sake of, in the case of arrays, to perform the searching operations and sorting operations there. There we have to write the logic. But in the case of collection framework, predefinedly some methods are existed. Every collection is nothing but a class where predefined methods are existed, where we can perform search and sorting operations in more comfortable way. There also be flexibility we are able to get. That is another thing. Next one, apart from this, predefined library and collection, that's okay. Arrays are able to allow only homogeneous elements. Only homogeneous elements, only same type of data. But when we go for collection framework, heterogeneous elements we are able to keep. Say, for example, I will create one collection where I want to give student object. Yes, we can do that. In the same collection, I want to keep like what they know, employee object. In the same collection, I want to keep customer object. So different types of elements I can keep there inside the collections. Right. So that so many advantages are available. But again, I'm telling to you, in the point of flexibility, collection framework is very good. But performance point of view, still arrays are very good. Performance point of view, still arrays are very good, but flexibility point of view, collection framework is very good. Understand it now? So depending on our situation, if the requirement is going to be completed with only arrays, then the suggestion is better to use arrays instead of collection framework. But if it is a requirement for us to go for these collections, then only we have to go for collections. Moreover, arrays are lightweight solution and collection framework is a heavyweight solution. And moreover, arrays are then what I'm telling there, less API dependent, whereas collection framework is more API dependent. Like this, so many differences are available, not even single. Clear? Good. Right, let's come for this point here. So then 15th one is what? Then after that, after completion of this collection framework, next thing is like what there? Generics. 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 One simple example I'm telling there for our understanding purpose only. Try to understand it clearly. Generics is a topic, guys. Observe carefully. All of you observe carefully. Here, what I given information about these arrays there? Arrays is what able to store same type of elements or not? Arrays are able to store homogeneous elements or not? Okay, what is the advantage of storing same type of elements? No. What is the advantage of allowing the same type of elements? No. Typedness will be increased. Typedness, that means typedness in the sense, okay, these elements are of one type, one particular type, where strong typedness we are able to implement by taking like what? No, arrays. Typedness in the sense, for example, if you are walking outside of the class, if I declare something in front of the class, this is core Java class, this is core Java class, then it's very clear that this is core Java. This class is related to what? Now, core Java. For example, if I'm not specifying any core Java title there in outside of the class, by default, anybody else can come inside the class or not? Possibility I'm telling them. Observe carefully. For example, you're all students here, you are core Java students, no? Myself, I'm taking this core Java class. If I fix you are the core Java students, I can give one type of conclusions to you. I can give maybe subject wise or maybe administration point of view, some announcements I can do easily if I fix you're all from core Java batch. For example, in my class, core Java students, I'm doubtful about all the core Java students. Maybe different batch people are coming there. Core Java people, Python people, or maybe different courses people are attending in the session here. In that situation, is it possible for me to give a fixed announcement for with respect to the core Java? Is it possible for me to give any operation over these all the students, a fixed operation for all the students? No. For example, if I give tomorrow core Java class is not there. For example, if I give this information, tomorrow my class is not there. If I give that information, is the confusion for everybody or not? So observe carefully. To perform operations, to perform effectively operations in some situation, typedness is required. Typedness is what? Core Java class. This is typedness. Answer my point here. This is advanced Java. This is a typedness. The strong typedness is required in the case of Java applications to perform operations effectively in some situations there. Understand clearly this point now. Good. Now, typedness is required to be achieved depending on the situations. Got my point or not? When it is possible, when we are able to store all the same type of elements, whenever we are able to store same type of elements, if we store same type of elements in a single thing, there we are able to apply the strong typedness. Am I right or not? So arrays are achieving more typedness or not? Arrays are able to achieve more typedness when compared with what they know, collection framework. Why? Because collection framework is able to store different types of elements. Heterogeneous elements are able to be stored inside the collection framework. Collection object is able to store all heterogeneous elements. Am I right or not? So whenever it is storing different types of elements, where a typedness will be reduced, but with arrays, typedness will be achieved. Guys, observe carefully what I'm telling there. With the arrays typedness, we are able to achieve. With the collection framework, we are able to reduce what? Typedness. Exactly. In a collection framework, if we want to achieve typedness, in collection framework, there we have to go for what? Generics. In a collection framework, to improve typedness, to achieve typedness, there we have to go for like what there no? Generics. Generics is the content we required clearly. Anyway, at this moment you may not understand the total content here, but in the extension of collection framework, we are going to understand like what there generics. This also be one of the important topic for us. We have to understand clearly. Next one is, after completion of these generics, the next topic here, what we are going to understand there. Observe carefully. Next one is reflection API. Reflection API. Next topic. Next one is like what there? Reflection API. Observe carefully. And before this, one more point I want to say. Some of you might be having the doubt. Sir, inside the collection framework, what we are going to be covered? If you observe this, so nearly collection framework in the sense it's a predefined library majorly, where number of classes and interfaces are available. Which interface and which classes we are going to be understand inside this collection framework. You can observe this clearly. Collection is an interface. Next one is like what? List is an interface, set interface, map interface, sorted set interface, navigable set interface, and sorted map is an interface, navigable map is an interface. Like queues are available, D queues are existed there. Then apart from that, linked list. Then after that, like a stack and a queue, like and so on. So many collection classes and interface are available. All of them we are going to be covered inside the collection framework. Got it or not? So inside the collection framework, list, set, maps, queues, then after that, and inside this list, linked list, stack, queue, then after that, like what the next one is, set, has set, linked has set, and has what next one get? Tree set, navigable set, then what next one get? Sorted set, and so on. So many class and interface are available. All of them we are going to be understand inside this particular content clearly. This is one thing, guys. Okay, fine. Then reflection API. What is the purpose of this reflection API? Listen carefully. In general, how we are able to prepare applications now? How it is possible to prepare applications in general? We have a specific requirement. For that requirement, we are preparing the program. Am I right or not? We have a specific requirement. For that requirement, we are preparing a program. Okay, but my requirement is what? What is my another requirement? No, I have a Java program. I have a Java class or Java program is available already. Now, what I want to do, I will write another Java program to analyze how many classes are available inside the present Java program. What exactly the declaration of a particular class? Inside this particular class, how many variables are available? How many methods are available? What exactly the declaration of the variables? What exactly the declaration of the methods? What exactly the declaration of the constructors? What exactly the package name? What exactly the import statements we have written? About the total information about our particular program. If you want to get information about a particular program programmatically, if you want to get there, we have to go for like what? No, reflection API. Guys, observe this clearly. Then what is the topic I'm telling? The reflection API is what is the purpose of reflection API? If you want to write a program to analyze another Java program, if you want to write a program to analyze another Java program, to understand what exactly the class declaration, whether this class is declared with the public or not, what is the name of the class, what is the super class for the class, what are the implemented interfaces for this particular class, inside this particular class, what are the various variables are existed, what is the data type of the variable, what is the name of the variable, what is the value of that variable, how many methods are available inside this particular class, what are the declarations of the methods, what is the data type of the method, what is the return type of the method, what is the name of the method, what is the access modifier of the method, what are the parameter list for the method, which exceptions this method is throwing. Then after that, constructor syntax, every information about a particular program, every information about a particular program, if you want to analyze, there we have to go for like what now? Reflection API. This is one topic. Nearly we are going to spend 4 to 5 hours of time to understand this reflection API clearly. Right, sir. Then after that, after understanding this reflection API, the next topic would be like what there. The next content would be like what there about this reflection after reflection API. All right, sir. Annotations. The topic here we are going to understand. Annotations. This is another most useful topic in J2EE. Annotations. Its utilization in core Java is very, very less. Annotations utilization in core Java is very, very less. But when we go for J2EE applications, everywhere this annotations topic is going on. Example I'm telling there. In olden days, might be in older technologies, previous technologies, XML documents are mandatory. Say for example, if you go for web applications, serverless applications, web.xml file is mandatory. So if you go for like EasyBase applications previously, there also be like some XML configuration files are mandatory. Some frameworks like Spring framework might be previously configuration files are mandatory. So in everywhere, in the previous versions, in the older versions, everywhere XML documents are mandatory. But when annotations are introduced in Java, I think in JDK 1.5 version, all the newer technologies are released at advanced level. All the newer technologies at advanced level, they are using annotations in place of like what their XML documents. Maximum in place of XML documents, annotations are utilized as what they know as an alternative clearly. So here I can give the conclusion. In all older technologies, XML documents are utilized. In all the newer technologies, annotations are utilized. Understand my point here? What is the intention of these annotations? So the overall study of annotations we are going to understand inside this particular core Java here as part of this annotations topic. In general, what I'm telling to you, for example, if you go for advanced level, say for example, servlets application, if you prepare, where what we used to do, directly we are going to say, we will use this annotation for this particular purpose, that's it. We will use this annotation for this particular purpose, that's it. But we are not going to talk what is annotation, what is the requirement to introduce annotations, how to declare an annotation, how to access the data from annotation. All the concepts will not be covered in advanced level. If you go for frameworks, maybe there also we are going to understand this annotation purpose is this, that's it. A particular type of annotation is existed, how to use that, up to that only we are going to understand. But the total internal information, the ground story of these annotations will not be covered at advanced level, but it must be covered inside like what now? Inside the core Java. Observe carefully. So inside these annotations, what I'm going to be covered there, what exactly the meaning of annotations, that is first point. Then how to declare an annotation, how to access annotation data from annotations. Predefined annotations are available. What are the predefined annotations now? What are the various predefined annotations are existed? What is meta annotation? How to use that meta annotations to define another annotations? Everything, the total initial, that means beginning information of these annotations will be covered inside like what now? Inside the core Java only. So that's why this is also one of the useful topic for us in the future. Okay, fine. Then after that, after completion of these annotations there, the next topic would be internationalization. Internationalization. In short, we can call it as like what there? I18N. I18N. Internationalization. In short, the topic is like what there? I18N. Right, sir. Nothing, sir. It's very simple topic. Now try to understand it clearly. What is the requirement to go for this particular topic? I'll give some small information. Try to understand it. Okay. For example, listen carefully. For example, I prepare a product. I prepared a product, a software product I prepared. I have a number of customers for my product throughout India. Throughout India, number of customers are available. I know Indians are able to speak English very well. Meanwhile, my product is also be providing services in English only, English language only. That's okay, good. Up to that, it's okay. But in the next year, what happened? Some customers are increased for my product from outside of India. Say, for example, some other customers are coming from Japan. You know, already the Japanese situation is somewhat different. They don't like English. They're not good at English. They know that means they are very much what I'm telling there. They are in their own language. That means Japanese language. They're good at their own language. They're not good at English. So what they're expecting from my product there, they are expecting all my product services in Japanese language. For example, next what I'm telling now, after this, some other customers are coming from Germany. The Germans are not aware about English. They don't like English, first of all. They're very much passionate on their own local language. They're very strong in local language. So they're expecting my product services in German language. Similarly, Italians, they're also be not interested on English. They want to have all services in their Italian language. So they're expecting my product services in what? Their Italian language. So what I have to do? At present, I provided all my services in which language there? In English. But Japanese customers expecting the services in Japanese language. Italians are expecting in Italian language. Germans are expecting Japanese language. Chinese are expecting in Chinese language. Then what I have to do? Option number one. Can I prepare a separate project for each and every language? Can I prepare a separate project for each and every language? If I prepare a separate language for each and every separate project for each language, for how many languages and how many times I have to redesign my project now? How many times I have to reconstruct my project? Is it possible? No, this is not possible. So what is the second solution here? The second solution is like what there? Second solution would be, understand clearly. Single application I have to prepare, single product I have to prepare, but that single product has to provide services by knowing the customer locality. By understanding the customer locality, my product has to provide its services with respect to the customer locality. In that way, I have to prepare my product. See, for example, if any request is coming from Japan, so my product has to give services in Japanese language. If any request is coming from German, my product has to give services in German language. If any request is coming from Italian customer, my product has to provide services in what? Their Italian representations. Am I right or not? So to implement this kind of flexibility, to get this kind of support in Java, there we have to go for like what? No, internationalization. So preparing Java applications with respect to the local requirement, that means locality. Preparing Java applications with respect to like what they know, local representation. That means customer locality. Then it is nothing but like what? No, internationalization. At core level, how much it is possible to understand internationalization, up to that we will understand clearly. But internationalization is available at different stages. At the core level, up to some part. And when we go for web level, next extension is available. If you go for frameworks level, where somewhat other extension is available here. But at core level, how much internationalization is possible, up to that we are able to discuss in our classes clearly. But what is internationalization? What is the requirement of this internationalization? And everything we will understand part of like what their internationalization topic and insert this core Java clearly. Sir, got it or not? So this is the intention of like what? No, internationalization. Then after that, after completion of this, another thing is like what there? JVM architecture. Another topic is like what? No, JVM architecture. JVM architecture. Guys, observe carefully. What is this one? JVM architecture. Next topic. See, I'm asking directly one question to you. When I write the program, compilation is required or not? Come on, guys. You have to open your mouth. Compilation is required or not? Definitely, compilation is required. After the compilation, we have to execute the program or not? Definitely, we have to execute the program. Good. Who will execute our program there? We will execute our program JVM. A separate mission is available in Java to execute Java program. That mission is what there? JVM. What is that JVM actually? Java Virtual Mission. JVM. Good. Now, once JVM is executing our Java program, so what we will do, we will understand how JVM is existed inside the Java. What exactly the internal components inside the Java. How JVM is executing Java programs with all the internal components inside the Java. What services are provided by JVM to execute our program? Everything we are going to understand inside the JVM architecture. Especially in JVM architecture, so many components are available. But majorly, I'm going to put concentration on high-level components. What are these high-level components there? Mainly class loaders we are going to understand. Class loaders, how bytecodes are loaded by these class loaders. Class loaders we are going to understand. Next one is a requirement of the JIT compiler. Next one is what? Interpreter. JVM is executing Java program in the sense, inside the JVM, an interpreter is executing our Java program. Inside the JVM, an interpreter is executing Java program. Observe carefully. So how interpret is available? What is the problem with interpreter? To solve the problem of interpreter, how JIT compiler was introduced inside the JVM. That one also here we are going to understand clearly. After that, after completion of this content there, memory management system is existed. How heap memory is existed, how method array is existed, how stack memory is existed, what is the purpose of each and every memory areas now, then which type of data will be stored in which memory. That overall analysis part we are going to understand inside the JVM architecture. Okay, fine. Then after that, after completion of this JVM architecture, we are going to understand like garbage collections, garbage collector. In other words, garbage collection or garbage collector, that we are going to understand. Garbage collector. Guys, observe carefully. What exactly the purpose of garbage collector in Java? What is the need of this garbage collector in Java? If we come for this point, observe carefully. One main difference between C++ and Java is, in the case of C++, developer should be the responsible person for creating objects and for destroying objects. See, both are object-oriented programming languages. Am I right or not? Java and C++ both are what? Object-oriented programming languages. What is the meaning of object-oriented programming languages? What is the meaning of both the object-oriented programming languages? In object-oriented programming languages, definitely, data has to be represented in the form of objects. Am I right or not? In object-oriented programming languages, data has to be represented in the form of what? In the form of objects. Guys, observe carefully what I'm telling there. Data will be represented in the form of what? Objects. Got it or not? Okay. If we want to represent data in the form of objects, then we have to create objects or not? If we want to represent data in the form of objects, then we have to create objects or not? Definitely we have to create objects. Okay. Objects we created, data we represented. We are using that data. That's okay. Everything is okay, fine. But at the end of the program or in the middle of the program, we need to destroy that objects or not? Once we created object, once we are using some memory, either at the end of the program or in the middle of the program, as per the requirement, we have to free that memory or not, we have to destroy that objects or not. So in the case of C++, what happened, the same developer must take the responsibility to create objects and to destroy the objects. To create objects, we will use constructors, and to destroy the objects, we will use what they are not, destructors. But in the case of Java, there is a flexibility for the developers. What is the flexibility for the developers now? Developers has to create the objects in the case of Java. Developers has to create objects inside the Java. That's it. Developers are not responsible for destroying the objects. Developers are responsible for creating the objects only. Developers are not responsible for destroying the objects. Observe carefully. One simple example I'm telling you now. For example, GHMC, Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. Two cases I'm telling there. Case number one I'm telling no. Hyderabad Municipal Corporation is available. It is asking to every citizen of Hyderabad, if we create a garbage or if we create some wastage at your home, you should take the responsibility to move that garbage to outside of the city. Nobody will take the responsibility behalf of GHMC. You must take the responsibility to move out the total garbage to outside of the city. This is a situation was provided by GHMC. This is case number 1. Now tell me, from GHMC, from behalf of GHMC or Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, all citizens are getting any support? All citizens are getting any support? Any support is provided by the GHMC for all the citizens? No. So if you create garbage, then you should take the responsibility of moving that garbage to outside of the city. GHMC is not responsible for it. Got it now? So this is a condition provided by GHMC. This is case number 1. Case number 2. What is that case number 2? Same GHMC has given flexibility for all the citizens. Create garbage, create wastage, no problem. We will take the responsibility to collect the wastage from your houses to move that wastage to outside of the city. We are taking the responsibility. Our boys will come to your home, your doorstep, and they will collect your garbage, and the garbage will be moved out from the Hyderabad city. That our people will take the responsibility. Case number 2. Now tell me, which case is giving flexibility for the citizens? No. Which case is flexibility for the citizens? No. Second case, definitely second case is flexible or not? Understand my point here clearly? So first case is nothing but C++. Second case is Java. In the case of C++, that C++, that means developer must take the responsibility to create the objects as well as to destroy the objects. Where developer has to remember that. But in the case of Java, developer is responsible for creating the objects only, not responsible for destroying the objects. Why, sir? Why developers are not responsible for destroying the objects in the case of Java? Why developers are not responsible for destroying the objects in the case of Java? Because of only one reason. What is that reason? No. In Java, an automatic object destructor is existed. In Java, automatic object destructor is existed. The responsibility of this automatic object destructor is it has to destroy the objects whenever that object is not required. Whenever that object is not required, automatically this object destructor will destroy that objects without the developer interference. Observe my point. Without the developer interference, automatically object will be destroyed by the respective object destructor. The name of this object destructor is garbage collector. The name of this object destructor is what? Garbage collector. Observe carefully. Garbage collector is responsible for destroying the objects. But when it will destroy the objects, how it will destroy the objects, some cases are available. That case is detailed. We'll understand inside like what? No, garbage collector content. Everybody understand my point? Just I'm giving title here. But when I take this title, actual class, when I discuss that actual content, where n number of cases are available, when an object is eligible for garbage collection, when garbage collector will come here and will destroy the objects, how garbage collector will destroy the objects, and everything we are going to understand inside like what they know, garbage collector content. Observe carefully, guys. All of you understand my point, what I'm telling you now. Okay, fine. This is one of the topic here we have to understand clearly. Next one is after completion of this garbage collections, next topic would be like what there? Regular expressions. Regular expressions. Another topic is like what? No, regular expressions. JVM architecture, garbage collector, and next one is like what? No, regular expressions. Don't worry, just my intention of discussing all these things is what? In a core Java, in a JTSC part, you are going to see these many contents. At least one time if I give the list of topics now, easily we can understand where we are and what we are discussing in the future. Whenever I'm talking about the subject now, there we can understand at least which topic we are discussing and where we are, how many topics are remaining, how many topics we have to complete. Then this kind of idea you are able to get if I give one time the total discussion. And moreover, giving some brief introduction about each and every topic is important at present. At least you are going to understand what is what inside the Java. At least some information inside the Java we are able to understand. That's why I given all the list of content clearly. Right, sir. Regular expressions. One simple example I'm telling you, try to understand it now. Might be when we open websites, in general, some websites when we open, where some registration forms are available. Am I right or not? Registration forms are existed. Am I right or not? Okay, fine. Especially in the registration forms, no, there are some fields like date of birth field. Date of birth field might be existed. Inside the date of birth field, what I provided there, say for example, if I provide the date of birth field is what? For example, my birthday is 12, then what next one can not 12. Okay, 12, 8, 20, might be 98. Like this, I provided some date of birth. Even though my date of birth representation is right, even though my date of birth exact date is right, exact date, month, year is right, but immediately that registration form is showing an error message to me. The date of birth must be in this particular format. What's that format here? No, DD hyphen MM hyphen YYYY. It is showing some particular format here. Then by seeing that, we are able to correct it and we are able to provide our required information. 12, whenever we are providing 12 hyphen, then what next one here? Whenever we want to provide single digit, no, there we have to put with what? No, 0, 0, 8. Then after that, what next one here? No, that year I have to be specified in a 4-digit form, not in the form of like what? No, 2-digit form. 1998, like this I have to specify. Got my point or not? Now tell me, when I enter this date of birth on the registration form, internally one program is taking this date of birth and it is trying to match with a particular pattern. The date of birth pattern, the date pattern is available internally. What is the date pattern? DD hyphen MM hyphen 4 Ys. That pattern is existed here. Against to this particular pattern, this date value is trying to be matched there. If it is not matched there and giving error message, if it is matched with this particular, if this date value is matched with this particular format, then allowing that application for the further processing. So this overall process is nothing but a data validation, checking data is valid or not, data validation. In the data validation, we are going to compare our value with a particular pattern or not, that particular pattern or not, that particular pattern, to compare our values with that particular pattern, creating a pattern, comparing values with a particular pattern. To do all these things, there we have to go for which topic there? No, regular expressions. Guys, all of you understand my point or not? What is the requirement to go for the regular expression? Just one of the example here I've given there regarding these regular expressions, not more than that. What is that example here we are discussing about this regular expression? Just preparing some patterns, comparing our values against to that pattern. If it is matched and moving for the further analysis. If it is not matched, giving some error message. So to do this kind of work, we need to go for like what? No, regular expressions. Again, I'm telling there, regular expressions are not much important at core Java, but this is much useful concept at a frameworks level. Advanced Java onward, these concepts we are going to use frequently. Everywhere we are going to prepare registration forms. Observe carefully. Everywhere we need to prepare what their registration forms. In the registration form, definitely data validations we have to do. Whenever we are doing data validations, some kind of patterns we have to prepare. So we need to compare some values against to that patterns. Definitely this kind of work is required. So where definitely we need to go for what their regular expressions in our content. Observe carefully. So in advanced level, we are going to understand more about these regular expressions. But at core Java, how to declare the patterns and how to use that patterns to our values, everything we are going to understand inside this core Java part of the regular expression. This is also one of the useful topic in the future technologies there. All right, sir. Then after that, after completion of these regular expressions, next we are going to understand like networking. Networking. Networking, observe carefully. This networking is one of the outdated topic. Here itself I'm confirming that this is one of the outdated topic. Nobody will use networking directly in outside, no. But this networking topic is a very basic topic to move on distributed application development in Java. Say for example, if you want to understand web services, we need some basic stuff about distributed programming languages, where in the basic stuff of the distributed applications, we have to understand like what their networking. So, but it's a part of the core Java that we have to understand clearly. If you understand networking at core Java, then web services topic will be very simple. The future technology, future distributed technologies content is very simple. Because of that reason, I'm trying to include that networking inside the core Java. Definitely we require that. Okay, sir, what is this networking? Which type of applications we are able to prepare by using networking? If you observe this point, no, simple example, charting application is available. Charting application, user 1, user 2. Both wants to exchange the messages. Both applications, two applications I will prepare. One is one, user 1. Another program is running for what? User 2. That means both wants to exchange some messages now. Chatting, this is a basic chatting there. Understand my point here? Yahoo chatting maybe, or Gmail chatting, or whatever it may be. Some chatting applications are going on the base of what now? Networking. We are able to prepare chatting applications on the base of what there? Networking. Anyway, that information is sufficient. But here inside this networking, we are going to understand what is a socket, what is a server socket programming, how to create a socket, how to create server socket, how to get input streams from the socket, how to send data to the client side socket, how data will be exchanged from client side socket to server side socket, how data will be taken at server machine, and how data might be submitted by server machine to the server socket, how server socket will send data to the client side socket, how client program will take the data from client side socket, how it able to utilize the data. The total analysis we are going to understand inside like what there networking. So we are going to understand, but anyway, it is not important. But for the sake of future technologies purpose, we need to understand this networking here as part of this. Similarly, one more topic like this, RMI. RMI stands for remote method invocation. RMI stands for what? Remote method invocation. Remote method invocation. Guys, all of you observe this point clearly. Understand? Everybody must understand this point here. This is an extension of networking. This is like what there? An extension of networking. Again, I'm telling there, RMI architecture is very much helpful for us to understand web services. Again, RMI architecture is very much helpful for us to understand web services content. Because of that reason only, I'm going to talk about RMI, remote method invocation. But what is the basic idea of this RMI? What is the basic idea of this RMI? Observe carefully. For example, this is my single computer. In this computer, I have written a class. I have written a class in this computer. Inside this class, I have written a method. I declare a method inside the single class. That class I have written inside this computer. In the same computer, in the same location, I can create object for the respective class. I can access that method. Am I right or not? Here in our computer, I declared a class. Inside the class, a method I declared. For example, I have written a program inside the computer. In the same computer, I can create object for the class. I can access the method. That's a normal content. But here my requirement is what? I want to prepare a distributed application. In my distributed application, what I will do? In my distributed application, what I will do? I want to create a class and a method in one computer. I want to create a class and method in one computer, but I want to create object for the respective class, and I want to access that method from another computer, not within the single computer. I will declare a method at one computer. I want to access that method from another computer, where networking is required, where internal networking is required, and distributed application development is required. Through that only we are able to access the method which is available to another computer from another computer. If we want to achieve this particular thing, there we need to go for like what now? RMI. The name itself is giving clarity. Remote method invocation. Calling a remote method from local mission. So in this mission, this mission is a remote mission, and that mission is what there now? Local mission. Inside this remote mission, I declare a method. That method is a remote method. But I want to call this remote method from another computer. So this overall process to do this particular thing, we need to go for like what they know? RMI, remote method invocation. Example, guys, I'm telling one simple example to you. How where this topic is very much suitable. Observe carefully, all of you know. For example, Durgasoft is the best example. Assume it. Durgasoft is doing online transactions with respect to the courses. That means Durgasoft is giving an option to all the students to pay the payments through online. We have a gateway. That means we have a payment gateway. Then through that we can pay the payment. Observe carefully. So Durgasoft.com website is available where you can enter. There we can pay the payments through online to Durgasoft. What is going on there internally? Just think a minute about it. Durgasoft is not having any banking service. Am I right or not? In its own, Durgasoft is not having any banking service. Durgasoft is having a website, but which is not providing any banking service. Am I right or not? So Durgasoft has to take the banking services from one bank provider or not? Durgasoft has to take support from one bank provider or not? Number of providers are available now. Say for example, ICICI. So Durgasoft is doing all the online transactions through which bank they know? ICICI Bank. Observe carefully. When a student is sending request to the Durgasoft about to pay the payment, no, immediately Durgasoft.com has to contact with ICICI people or not. Then it has to get some services from ICICI Bank or not. Answer my point here now. So here, for example, do transaction is a service. Do transaction is a service which is provided by ICICI people. That is required by whom? Durgasoft. That must be used by whom? A particular user. Got my point here? That do transaction is a service is provided by ICICI, that is consumed by Durgasoft. That service would be provided to like whom? To the customer care. Observe carefully. And observe carefully. Forget about this customer. Durgasoft required some service from bank or not. So Durgasoft is a local mission. ICICI Bank is what their remote mission. Our do transaction is defined where? Do transaction is available at ICICI Bank or not? How we are calling that? Who is calling that? Durgasoft is calling the do transaction or not? Observe carefully. So method is defined at a remote mission, but that method must be accessed from local mission or not. So where RMI topic is suitable or not? Exactly. In such kind of distributed applications, we are going to use like what there? RMI, extension of this RMI web services we are going to use for that. Web services we will use for the particular requirement. RMI is an older topic there, but nowadays the new topic is like what they know? Web services. In web services also be two things are existed here: SOAP services and RESTful services. Nowadays people are going to use RESTful services to achieve this kind of requirements. But if you want to understand that web services clearly in the future, we need to have some awareness on like what their RMI. Almost all RMI architecture and web services architecture, almost all 80% is same. 75% is same. RMI architecture, web services architecture, maybe 75% is same. But remaining 25% of variation with respect to web services, some other content is existed here. But 75% of the structure is very same in between RMI and web services. So to understand betterly that web services topic, we have to understand clearly about like what there RMI. This is another topic that what we are going to be understand there clearly. Then after that, after completion of this, next one is like what there 24th topic again. One more outdated topic here I'm telling there, GUI part. GUI part, GUI, graphical user interface. But there is a reason to discuss about this particular topic actually. GUI, graphical user interface. Inside this GUI, what I'm going to be covered like AWT and Swing. AWT and Swing, the topics I'm going to be covered here. GUI part, first of all understand it, then why it is outdated I will give that information to you clearly. For example, I want to prepare an application where I want to use the text fields, radio buttons, check boxes, list boxes, choice boxes, combo boxes, such kind of GUI elements I want to create. I want to take input data through these components and I will provide output data to the same components now. Understand my point here? So whenever we are using that Windows where checkboxes, text fields and password fields and all, automatically look and feel will be improved for our application or not? Automatically look and feel will be improved or not? Understand my point clearly now? So to prepare such type of applications, we need to go for like what no? GUI, where AWT and Swings, these two technologies, these two concepts we are going to understand. Observe carefully. But this is an outdated topic. Why it is an outdated topic in Java? Nowadays, if you want to prepare any project, there is a clear-cut information about a front-end development, middleware application development, and back-end development. In front-end development, so many technologies are available to prepare this front-end application development. What are the technologies there? UI technologies are available. HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, then what next one here? And so on and so on. Maybe Angular or maybe React.js. All the things are come under like what they know? UI development only. So because of these many technologies which are providing very good services for the developers are neglecting what their AWT and Swings. Nobody is using these AWT and Swings. But still, why I'm including this topic inside the core Java? Why I'm going to teach these concepts inside the core Java? Only because of one reason. What is that reason there? These topics are outdated, no doubt for that. Nobody is using these topics. But while teaching these two topics, some design patterns will be covered. Some design patterns are going to be covered. Because of the design patterns, because of these patterns only, I'm trying to teach this AWT and Spring. Also, my point clearly. Concept implementation is very, very good in the case of AWT and Swings. Because of understanding that concepts implementation only, I'm going to talk about this AWT and Swings. Actually, I don't have any intention to waste your time to talk about this unnecessary topic. But if I take this AWT and Swings now, where internally some design patterns are going to be covered, to understand the design patterns only, I will talk about like what there AWT and Swings. See, in entire core Java, I don't have any option to show up the design patterns effectively. Only the option is what there no AWT and Swings. If I take these concepts, internally some design patterns are implemented to expose the design patterns. Then only for that only we need to go for like what no AWT and Swings. Definitely up to how much is required, up to that part I will discuss with you clearly. Yes, guys, all of you understand my point or not? But if I take design patterns as a separate topic, it's a vast content. It's a separate course, of course. Nearly 30 to 40 number of design patterns we have to understand throughout our Java. But where might be 10 to 15 number of design patterns are somewhat related with the core Java. Nearly 7 to 8 or 10 number of design patterns are somewhat related with core Java. Up to the 10 I will discuss inside the classes now. By moving on to the concepts, I'm able to discuss the design patterns in the respective locations there, not all at a time here. In the respective topics, I will discuss about like what required design patterns. But in the same way, in this approach, AWT and Sphinx are also be having some design patterns internally. I will discuss that design patterns as part of this AWT and Sphinx. Further proposal, I'm talking about this one. But remaining design patterns will be covered in the future. If you go for advanced Java, some other design patterns. If you go for Spring framework, some other design patterns are going to be covered. If you go for web services, some other design patterns are going to be covered. So total throughout Java stream, almost 35 to 40 number of design patterns will be covered. But at core Java, I'm sure about it, 7 to 10 number of design patterns I will cover inside the core Java in the respective topics only, not all at a time. If I take all at a time, we have to talk about the topic at the end of the core Java, but not required. While moving on to the core Java in the respective locations, in the respective topics, automatically these design patterns are going to be covered. In that way, I will plan for this particular content. Right, sir. Next one. Then after that, after completion of this GUI part like this, next one would be like what now? Java 8 features. Java 8 features. In Java 8, so many features are available. I will discuss maximum number of features of Java 8. But wait, the most important feature is what? Lambdas. The most important feature is what? Lambdas. We are going to put more and more focus on lambdas as part of like what no Java 8 features. Now I'm not listing all the features of Java 8. No, when the topic is coming, then I'll give list of topics which are available inside the Java 8. But more and more number of features are available. I'll discuss about all these concepts. But majorly lambdas. I'll put more focus on what there lambdas. Next one is similarly. The next topic is like what there Java 9 features. Java 9 features. Java 9 features and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. Then we are going to understand like what there. Next one is like what nearly 35th topic, that is like what there Java 18 features. So as of now, which version of the Java is available in outside market? No. Which version of the Java is available at present here? Java 18 version is available. Java 18 version is available. After that, I will discuss there. I'm giving what to you by completing your core Java. If Java 9 was introduced there to the market, then definitely you can understand that one also. I will include even Java 19 also if Java 19 coming into the picture. That means by completing your batch, at the time of completing your batch, if Java 19 is introduced there, definitely I will include even that Java 19 also. But in all these versions, I'm telling to you how many features are required for the developers. Up to that I will discuss. Say for example, if you observe any Java 10 version, where maybe 100 features are introduced there, but all 100 features are not required for the developers. Which features are required for the developers, which features are going to be utilized in the implementation part, up to that only we are going to understand. Some features are available at administration level, at Java administration level, that features are not required for us. Only developers, in the point of developers, how many features are required, which features are required, up to that only we are going to understand clearly. Like this 30 or 35 number of topics we are going to understand, guys. This is the total information about like what now core Java content. Have a look on one time here about all these concepts now. JDBC will be covered in advanced Java. JDBC, servlets and JSPs will be covered in advanced Java, not in core Java, not in J2SE. So you can observe this clearly. Introduction part, steps to prepare first Java application and language fundamentals and patterns in the sense like what there, how to display stars in a pyramid shape, how to display stars in a triangle shape, this kind of things only, not design patterns. Next one is the OOPS concepts. Observe carefully. Among all these things, that OOPS topic is very, very, very important. OOPS topic is very, very important, and everybody must know this object orientation, OOPS concepts. So without object orientation, we can't do anything. Please remember this. Next one is what? After that, next another, okay. Somewhat important topic is what? String manipulation. This is frequently we are using. Frequently we need to perform string operations in our Java application. So string manipulations is another one. Concept wise, exception handling is also be very, very important. Concept wise, multi-threading is also be one of the important topic. Multi-threading. But when we go for frameworks level, people are not going to use threading concept explicitly. Everything is provided internally, internal implementations only, but understanding is very, very important about this multi-threading. It's somewhat confusion oriented concept inside the core Java, but we are going to understand effectively. Then after that, in IO streams, one or two topics are important. Serialization topic is important, not entire IO streams, serialization. Here also be in IO streams, all input streams and outputs are predefined content. They're available ready-madely in Java application where we are not going to think much about them. But serialization topic is required. Understanding that serialization is very, very important for the sake of the future purpose. Observe my point here. Next one is another important topic is like what there, right? How much importance you are giving for object orientation. Same importance is available for like what there, collection framework. Collection framework. So Poonam, as of now, no idea on it. Maybe in the future I may include that, but as of now, not possible. Even I was not ready for it. Okay, right, guys. Then collection framework I will discuss more on content here. Next one is apart from that, reflection API is okay. If you know that, that will be added an advantage only. I'm not saying it is an important topic. In the point of concept, JVM architecture, we have to put somewhat effort, better to understand the internals of JVM architecture, and moreover, generic is also important. Generic is also important that we have to understand. Next one is apart from this, garbage collector and regular expressions and networking, it's okay. All these concepts are important, but the stable version in Java is like what there? Java 8 features we require, definitely. And moreover, I will discuss more and more about the Java 8 features. More content I will discuss there in Java 8 features. The remaining features not mandatory, not required to understand in a very much effort. But these concepts we have to understand clearly. Come again, guys. Now I'm talking about all these concepts in the point of interviews, in the point of application development. Which topics are the most important topics now in from core Java? If you observe this clearly, two topics mainly I can say: object orientation, and second one is collection framework. Object orientation and collection framework, these two topics are very, very important. Then one more thing I'm telling to you all of you guys, observe carefully. If you go for any interview in outside, with a full stack Java developer, where if an interviewer is asking 100 questions now, from these 100 number of questions, you can expect 60 number of questions from core Java. Out of 100 number of questions, 60 number of questions from core Java. Out of this 60 number of questions, nearly 30 to 40 number of questions from object orientation and collection framework. At least if you prepare these two topics mainly, maximum core Java interview you are able to complete. That means almost 60 to 70% of the questions you can answer in core Java interviews, definitely. But I'm not saying remaining questions are not mandatory. I'm saying mandatory, but the weightage of these two topics I'm telling that. Every interviewer will ask more and more number of questions from like what their object orientation and collection framework, but definitely they will ask questions from string manipulations, exception handling, and multi-threading also. But where multi-threading is very, very important actually, where in which companies that multi-threading will be asked more and more. If you want to go for gaming related softwares, gaming applications, if any company is in gaming application development, there definitely multi-threading is a main content where multi-threading play is required. The developer must require hands-on experience on multi-threading. If you want to go for gaming application development, in the normal projects, might be in the normal application development, all the concepts are important. Okay, right, guys. Now this is the scenario here. What I am telling there, and guys, and one small request I am telling to you again and again. I am telling to you the schedule for it. Next few days of time only, I will take classes at 7 to 8:30. These core Java classes. After maximum 1 week to 10 days of time, I will take your classes at what time there? 8:30 to 10. That is confirmed schedule. That is a fixed schedule to try to follow it as per our availability. Why? Because at 7 to 8:30, after a month of time, I have to take advanced Java classes for the package people. So 7 to 8:30 is the time for advanced Java. But for introduction classes, I will discuss at what time there? 7 to 8:30 for core Java introduction classes. The next, the main almost all OOPS concepts onwards, I'll take your classes at 8:30 to 10. Please follow the schedule. This is mandatory if you want to continue with these classes there. So in the demos onwards, I'm telling this information. I'll try to adjust for yourself about the schedule clearly. Okay. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Then tomorrow I'll continue the class, and tomorrow at 7 o'clock exactly I will start the session. Tomorrow I will start directly which topic there? Introduction part. History of the Java. I will take directly, then try to attend for the sessions clearly. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Tomorrow we'll meet at exactly 7 o'clock. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, please. Yeah, yeah. Come again? Yeah, that's fine. No, 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 no issues. Hey, even I given much clarity about it. Yeah, why? Because and first time we are meeting here, right? So I have to clarify about your content there clearly. Yeah, not in any other manner. No, no, no. Then better to talk about this payment related things at our office there. Yeah, then at the second floor office is there. Just better. Thank you. One morning. Yeah, fine. No, 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 not required. Just come to the classes regular. That's enough. Max, that's sufficient. So then today just again over and tomorrow onwards our classes will be a bit slow and almost all spoon feeding kind of content you are able to get. Don't worry for it. Not required to go for any other tutorials there. I'll give that material to you. Might be that material will be distributed there. Might be then in that material everything is existed. So then if you read that material, you'll get more clarity. Not only that, in our classes regularly I'm giving some content there. If you follow that content, that's more than sufficient for you to understand. Thank you. Thank you. చెప్తా ఈరోజు ఓవర్ కాబట్టి నో ఇష్యూస్ టుమారో అన్వర్డ్స్ ఓకే వీడియో సపోర్ట్ ఇస్తాం కదా ఫైన్ ఫైన్ థ్యాంక్ యూ రాలేదా బాయ్ ఇంకా ఇంకా చెప్పాలి ఇంకా ఫ్యూచర్లో వస్తాయి ఫ్యూచర్లో వస్తాయి ఇంకా రాలేదు ఇవి See, one thing I'm telling there that when I have done that videos, maybe I don't know. A long time back I have done that videos, but this is a fresh topic, right? Yeah, these topics are fresh, right? So definitely some updations are going on. Where might be entire core Java will not be covered in a single course. Parts wise might be 500 videos I given in up to hoops and one or two topics maximum. Remaining 500 videos are coming in part two. It's undergoing on actually. Maybe within a month after again I will start some shooting because of some work I stopped the shooting there. So then what I'm telling is then these live classes are fresh content. New updations will come. Then better if it is possible and if the time is possible, try to follow this. Fine. Thank you. Guys, and no need to have any prerequisite about this core Java classes, guys. Arjun, no need to have any prerequisite for this core Java classes. Okay. Online course and but need a hard copy. George Stephen, just I will do the process there. Just let me check the process of sending a hard copy, but I'm not sure. But let me check the process here. Why don't you take that Xerox copy of the software copy material? Yeah, no, 8:30 batch. Oh, Amy? Core Java. They're not required. Then there is another batch. You can come at 7 to 8:30. No problem. Tomorrow. Uh, all right, sir. Guys, and 7 to 8:30 class is going on next to 10 days only, but the same course I'm going to be shifted to 8:30 to 10 now. Okay, then at 8:30 to 10 we have to ask. We have to attend there. Just wait. Print out. George, and better to take printout. I'll give the downloadable soft copy to you so we can print out. Just wait. I will. Today I will process your request. Don't worry. Then I'll ask to Bhavani to process your request. Don't worry. Just wait. Okay. Don't worry. Don't worry, ma'am. Definitely, I will. Yeah, Jayant, that's okay then. If you know, recording videos link will also be provided, guys. Don't worry. Okay. Don't worry. Yeah. Evening batches may be planned at very soon, but not at might be decided. Very soon we'll give intimation, guys. So with interviews core job in the sense, more less chances are available to get job. Don't worry. Less chances are available to get job with the core Java. But we have to complete up to web level, up to like what there, up to frameworks level we need to understand. Guys, and 1 minute, and tomorrow I'll spend some time about your doubts there. Then definitely I will give some time on tomorrow. Don't worry, guys. Okay. Another session from 8:30 to 10. There will be another session from 7 to 8:30. Exactly. If I miss anything, again, videos are available or not? Definitely, videos are available, sir. Lokesh, videos are available. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. The timing is 7 to 8:30, guys. So Poonam, and it may not be sure for it. Why? Because I have sessions right from morning to evening. I may not be put much time extra for you, but whatever the content I'm taking there in the class, I'll give more clarity on it. Yeah, just for core Java up to few days out of 7 to 8:30. Next 8:30 to 10 I will take just for ma'am. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, to learn in the sense video support will provide, guys. Video support will be provided, guys. And today just whatever the common doubts you're having there, I'll send one mail with the full details. Don't worry. After the class I will send one full mail with I will give the full details in a mail. Now try to see that mail. You'll get full clarity about this administrative kind of things. Okay. Thank you, guys. Just 5 minutes. Thank you. uh, tomorrow at 7 o'clock I'll start the sessions. At 7 o'clock we have to attend for the session, guys. Yeah, tomorrow 7 o'clock. Yeah, sure. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.